I'm a bird, mother. I'm a bird.
They're blaming racists for failure of Marvel Rivals cringe Ironheart series. By the way, I am so tired of every time I open Hulu and it's like Ironheart this, Ironheart that, Ironheart this. They're like advertising for people to go watch it on Disney Plus. But I saw those advertisements on like Hulu and shit. It's like constantly go watch it, go watch it. And it was like go watch this super duper thing.
Hey, what's up, guys? Rip here. So the moment you've all been waiting for is finally here. Marvel's Ironheart has released its first 3 episodes of the 6-episode series. And yes, this has been an absolute nightmare for Disney and Marvel. They've been hoping that you would have forgotten about this project they announced a few years ago, but eventually they had to produce something, and here it is. And after a long series of disastrous trailers and also casting decisions,
Okay.
well, it panned out into the series itself. The first 3 episodes are insufferable, and the reviews are very bad. Now, of course, whenever this happens to a show like Ironheart, there's always journalists and social media users ready to run defense and
I feel like Ironheart is like Concord. I always forget about its existence.
I never heard of it.
make excuses for this slop, and it's happening once again because a lot of journalists are now coming out and saying if you dislike this series, you're a racist. Yes,
That's another thing. Can we dislike things without being called racist? Can we just dislike things because we just don't like them? Like, can we stop this? What the hell?
they are blaming racism for all of the problems and negative reviews facing the show because, of course, they would do that. That's how these journalists work. Now, let's look at some of the scores so far. So, this one comes from Metacritic, sitting at a 2.4 among users. Then you look at IMDb, and it's not doing much better with a 3.7 out of 10 rating. And this is the really
Ooh,
controversial one.
that's bad.
Rotten Tomatoes, you can see right now, a 59%, 74%, and it was temporarily disabled. They turned off the reviews temporarily, and ever since then, the reviews have been spiking up and down. It's been a real mess. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter too much because it's bad. Okay, even
Yeah.
right now with a little higher score than it initially had, it's still the 3rd worst rated Marvel series total. And it beat out Secret Invasion and Echo. I mean, that's not hard to do. And on top of that, some journalists have actually had the balls to go out there and give this the rating it deserves. IGN stunned the world with this 5
That is a little surprising that IGN gave it a 5.
Yo, who did they fire and brought in? We want to know.
I have no idea, but it's really funny. IGN lately has been trying really hard to get the popular like preference.
rating that they describe as mediocre. Now, I want to take 2 minutes and just talk about everything wrong with this series, at least through the first 3 episodes. And it begins with the fact this is a relic of its time. It was produced during the heights of wokeism in the entertainment industry, and it shows. Okay, the virtue signaling, the identity politics, it's about as subtle as a punch in the
Oh.
face. And
You see,
Ooh.
I didn't watch it yet just because I mean I was busy having a life and having issues. So I didn't even bother watching it. I didn't even know that they went with the whole ideology again. Like, I'm not surprised, but I'm still surprised, if that makes sense. For me, it's like, okay, but you could have changed the script, right? At least for some things.
Yeah.
Because by the time you were already recording, all the stuff that was happening and all the backlash that was happening, you already seen it happen.
all of that is culminated with its main character, Riri Williams, who ironically starts off the show working on her suit thanks to a Stark grant. Tony Stark, of course, being someone that she constantly disses throughout the series, at one point implying
What?
Okay, so she has the Iron Man grant, okay? But at the same time, that guy. Love
Are you
it.
serious?
That's a good message to send to people, right?
she's smarter than him at another point, implying he only made his suit because he was a billionaire, ignoring, of course, the fact that he built his first suit in a cave with spare parts under the watch of armed terrorists, but whatever. So she continues her work at MIT, where she believes her massive grant is still not enough money. So she wants to start getting some other sources, so she starts helping students cheat on their work for cash.
Okay, I am genuinely curious. How much of a grant was that in the story? How much was the grant for Ironheart? Hold on, let's see. There's no confirmed amount of money.
It must have been a huge amount, though. Did people make a mistake about telling that he was just some billionaire? No. He was literally smart as hell.
The only reason I didn't like Iron Man was the actor. That's it.
Yeah, but the character, his backstory is crazy.
Mhm.
She is warned for this by the
Oh
school
yeah. So before I paused it, Rev even said that. So it wasn't enough money for her, so she started doing homework for money.
Yep.
grant is still not enough money. So she wants to start getting some other sources. So she starts helping students cheat on their work for cash. She is warned for this by the school. And eventually, the last straw is when she causes massive damage to the lab she's working in. She's expelled. And like a disgruntled worker who just got fired, who now goes and steals all of the office supplies on his way out the door.
Really? Wait, so you want to tell me you want to make a good character who's a black woman, right? She gets a grant, she complains about it, right? She complains about the person, why the grant even exists, and all that stuff. So, to get even more money, she starts selling people cheat sheets at school. Then she completely damages the lab. So, she gets kicked out. So, she decides to go and rob them.
Really, bro?
And we're supposed to like her?
She stole the suit as she was expelled. And again, it's
She steals the suit. Okay. And we're supposed to like her.
Why would we like her? There's literally, she's the criminal. Not even a vigilante, bro.
Yeah. She's not a vigilante. She's not a hero. She's literally a criminal.
through grants. It's not her suit, it's the school suit. And eventually, after she leaves, the suit needs repairs. And what she do to fix this problem? Steal some more. And that's
Jesus.
when she's approached by a criminal gang led by Parker Robin, aka the Hood. And in his first couple sentences, he says, "We extort and rob people for money." And Riri Williams is like, "Yeah, that sounds like something a hero would do. I'm in." And
Extort money from people. Okay, yeah, absolutely a hero. Yeah.
then they go around, and basically the lesson is it's okay to steal and hurt people as long as you're getting something you want and it's coming from a billionaire. Or in
Okay, well, I want a golden plated yacht. Bezos, I'm coming, I guess. I don't fucking know. Apparently doing that is gonna make me a hero.
some cases, to do that, you have to like kick the crap out of security guards who are just doing their job, but it doesn't matter. They're going after something they want. And then she meets the son of Obadiah Stane, who is trying to not follow in his father's footsteps by becoming a black market arms dealer who immediately gives Riri all the parts she needs without question. Very strange. And then really the last like half of the first 3 episodes is just like trying to develop this moral quandary where the AI she produced.
And that's the thing. If they would have like made this like, oh, this is not a hero, this is like this and this, but it's not a hero, like underlining that part, maybe people would have accepted it a lot better.
Yeah.
But the fact that they were laying it on so thick in the advertisement that she's like this good person and yada yada definitely did not do them any favors.
Aaron says, how is this a hero, anti-hero at best? Hell no.
Mm-mm.
The
It's not an
this-
anti-hero.
The staple poster of a anti-hero,
Deadpool.
Red Hood, Deadpool. Oh, the Punisher as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Came out as a AI version of her deceased friend Natalie. Is like they're like
Wait, what?
trying to develop this moral quandary where the AI she produced, which came out as a AI version of her deceased friend Natalie, is like they're like, wait
Okay.
a second, Riri, this isn't a good idea, and
Yeah, just a little bit.
Riri starts becoming very suspicious of the criminal gang she's been working with and stealing.
Bro, what?
And that's what they're justifying to label her as a hero because she got suspicious of the criminals she was working with. Okay.
From people with. That's pretty much the plot. Are you interested in this? Does this sound good to you? No, it doesn't.
No,
It's
no,
a
it doesn't
steaming
at
pile
all.
of crap. It has nothing to do with racism or anything like that. It's just not a very good show. But the journalists are running defense hard and
Of course.
discussing film here,
Of
saying,
course.
despite
How much did they pay them? How much did they pay them to run this defense? Also for legal reasons.
That's my opinion!
Don't come for me.
what online trolls want you to believe, Ironheart is one of the better MCU shows in recent years. That's like saying it's the least smelliest trash. Like, all the shows for the MCU have been really bad recently. Like, what is that supposed to tell me? But Redditors are on the case. They're defending this hard, sharing this article titled,
Since when did Reddit become this? No, I'm not happy. But yeah, since when did Reddit become this mess? I remember Reddit used to be pretty cool. I used to get a lot of information I need from it. I used to, like, if I have a question, I would always post it on Reddit to get some help with it and whatnot. These days, not only all of this is happening there, but also every time you post a question these days, you get, I don't know, ask someone else. What happened?
Ironheart review bombing proves some comic book fans still can't handle women of color in a spotlight. This has 7,000 likes, by the way. Absolutely insane. And this is the article itself where it says Marvel's Ironheart had an
Let me replay that.
absolutely insane.
Review bombing proves some comic book fans still cannot handle women of color in spotlight. Do they understand that being a black woman is not the only one that can be a woman of color, right? There are all these different shades.
Also, Storm.
Yeah, I was literally about to pull it up.
Yo, Storm. I don't know Marvel guys. I'm sorry, but Storm is literally iconic. Reminds me Miss Marvel show were targeted at South Asians. No way.
Miss Marvel was pretty bad though. Bear with me. You guys already know where I'm going with this one, right?
Wait, was the actress?
Yes.
No.
And what is she? Chopped liver? Like, quite genuinely, is she chopped liver to you?
If you're a good actor slash actress, you carry the show, even if the script is bad. If the script is bad, then I don't know, man. There's almost only so much you can do as well.
Well, she doesn't count. Why? They always forget the ones that contradict their argument. It seems, yeah, pretty much. She's in a lot of geeky stuff. She was in the Avatar movie too.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Because you said Avatar movie was like Last Airbender movie.
No. That was her.
Oh, she's the main geek person, huh?
Yeah, that was
Did she
her.
Is that her typecast? Like she gets into geeky stuff because she actually knows how to act.
No, so fun fact, the first time people mostly heard about her was in the Britney Spears movie. The Britney Spears coming of age movie. And now she's like the go-to for like being like the actress in like these geeky action movies.
Because she can do it.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yo, she got a niche and she's running with it.
Yeah, because she's really good at it.
Okay.
She has been in the industry for a long time now.
Okay.
But she became so famous ever since like Guardians of the Galaxy, Avatar, like people started loving her.
Yeah. Oh, she was in Star Trek.
Thank you. Thank you. That's my point.
Which one? What year is it?
It's a 2009 one. You might have not noticed, but we watched so many stuff with her in it.
I didn't know.
Yes, because she's that good. She doesn't play herself in the movies. She actually plays the role in the movies. Sorry, I'm done glazing. But it's just, she's a really good example.
Wait, she's in the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes. Yes.
Damn, bro, she's so good that you don't even know she's in it.
That's what I'm saying. Because she doesn't play herself.
I didn't see this one.
Okay. Remember, guys, when he was recruiting the crew and then there was this crazy chick that was making out at him, then slapping him, making out at him, slapping him? And she was like the whole thing, all women are taboo on the boat and stuff like that. That was her.
Anna Maria,
Do I need to go on?
guys, please.
She's literally the queen of the nerds.
She definitely wears that crown, and no one can really take away from her. Honestly.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was unfamiliar with your game. Basically, yeah. Damn, G, I didn't know you were cool like that. How you doing, Drake?
Okay, I'm done glazing. I just wanted to prove a point.
And this is the article itself where it says Marvel's Ironheart hadn't even premiered and was already under fire, not from critics or audiences with genuine concerns, but from a brigade of online trolls. A coordinated review bombing campaign. Because it's a project led by a woman of color. And then you have
And I just proved my point.
Yep.
Yahoo News here, which
Yes, she hasn't been a main character. But she doesn't also go for those characters.
No, she is a main character in Guardians of the Galaxy. That was definitely main character energy.
Okay, the main character in Guardians of the Galaxy is Star-Lord.
No.
Really?
It's the whole team.
I always thought it's Star-Lord.
Maybe in the beginning, but afterwards, like it branches out into him fighting his teammates.
Okay.
And then that's the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
which I can't even believe like they're still around. It's kind of impressive. They say MAGA trolls are attacking Disney's Ironheart, but here's how Black Internet is fighting back. Black Internet? Well,
What?
how are they fighting back, you ask? Well, I've seen some examples on social media. So we have this post right here with a famous quote from Marvel where Tony Stark says, if you're nothing without the suit, you don't deserve the suit, which is basically an apt description of everything that Ironheart is about, right? But this person says these white boys are becoming more insufferable with their bad takes about a TV show their goofy ass could just ignore.
What?
I mean, you could also just ignore these comments. But the person who made the original post would respond saying, I'm black. And then that person would say, how would I know that when you're speaking like a self-hating bot? You ain't black to me until proven otherwise.
Okay, now people who are black have to prove to other people that they're black just because they have specific standards and taste in shows and movies. Are we actually stooping that low now?
The anti-racist strike again, saying the most racist things you've ever heard. So I guess this is the racism maybe these journalists are hinting at.
Yeah, remove that comment. I don't like that comment.
I don't like that comment either.
Please don't make those.
I'm seeing it right here. But there'd be another article from Yahoo News here. Racist fandoms target Marvel's Ironheart series with bad reviews. Yep, it's all the review bombing. Here's another one. Ironheart fulfills low expectations with a weak narrative, poorly written characters, and dull action. It will also arouse the ire of trolls who target Disney's diversity efforts. Oh man, wouldn't want to mess with their diversity efforts over at Disney. They're pretty much ripping their company apart. But anyways, this is probably the best article from MovieWeb. They actually changed the title. If you hover over, you can't see it on your end, but if I hover over the tab, it says the original title, which is The Ironheart Hate is Just Racist. And they got clowned on for that, so they changed it to, let's call the Ironheart Hate what it really is. Basically, ...
It's not a better title either.
No, it's pretty bad.
And don't worry, later in the article, they do clarify what it's all about. And you guessed it, it's racism. This is such a bad article, it's not even loading. But anyways, here's what they said, okay? What could be the reason for doing all this stuff? These trolls, they often use phrases like woke as a criticism, which has no meaning except a blanket term to cover up racist and sexist beliefs. Multiple comment sections on social media for the Ironheart-related post needed to be shut down due to a flood of racist, sexist, and outright hostile comments. That doesn't seem like a reasonable response to a Disney Plus MCU.
Okay, Okay, but can we all agree with the fact with the fuck? Can we all agree with the fact that yes, there are people who are hating stuff just because of that, right? I think we all agree that there are people like that.
Very ignorant people, yeah.
But this is genuinely a bad movie show, whatever. This is genuinely just bad.
Yeah.
People obviously didn't like it. People didn't like the character. People didn't like the writing. People didn't like how they were portraying the character. People didn't like any of it. So how can you blame all all the people collectively becoming racist and sexist towards Ironheart? You cannot claim something like that.
I agree with that.
Series. Let's make something clear. There is no controversy around Ironheart because saying so legitimizes a clear-cut targeted attack against the series. Fair
What?
criticism is understandable.
This actually reminds me what's happening in the gaming pretty heavily.
Oh
How
yeah.
how if you talk about a game, you're just being a drama tuber, or how if you don't like something, the same thing, you're just racist, you're a bigot, you're all those things, you're a fascist, and it's like the same thing here.
But there is one word behind the review bombing Ironheart saw: racism. There it is. There's only one explanation for everything happening. Every bad review, it's just racism. Man, they are
Of
really
course.
running defense hard for this series. They're going to try to convince you that this series is a massive success. The reviews are just the result of MAGA trolls who are trying to mislead
Okay, but how are you gonna justify the rest of the world not liking the show? Also MAGAs? Like quite frankly, you can live in your own blue sky bubble, in your journalist quote unquote bubble, but writing it off as just MAGA racist going after the show is one unrealistic, two idiotic, because it's not like it's just specific people in US who decided not to like the show. It's also people outside of US who didn't like the show. So again, how is it those MAGA racists going after the show?
you about this show. You know, it's funny, like when I describe this series, there is absolutely nothing to do with the race of Riri. It doesn't matter. It's not important. The virtue signaling can be overcome with a good plot, which it doesn't have. It has a convoluted plot that makes absolutely no sense for an MCU series, and it's just laughably bad. And people don't like it. They're not responding well to it. And now what? In the same place here, MovieWeb, they would also go back on Twitter, re-promote their article again with this quick little line here saying, "Will the review bombing ever end?"
Oh my god. Okay.
Bro.
Well, the quote-unquote review bombing is going to continue because the show isn't good and people aren't responding well to it. It should be very obvious this was going to happen. And again, can we stop using the phrase review bombing so much? It's such a lame excuse for a
Yeah, no, these days everything is review bombing and brigading. So if a game or a movie or a show flops, review bombing. If a content creator says dumb shit, is brigading.
show just not performing well with audiences and critics alike. And this is a really rough image for Disney right now.
Yeah.
Disney
Oh,
Plus, with their
no.
top 10 trending in the US today, number one is Ironheart, which is not doing well. Number two is Snow White, the
Oh,
live
no.
action that absolutely flopped. And number four is
It's the I like you cut G Snow White.
Captain America Brave New World. These three are all massive financial failures for Disney, and there's really nothing else to say about it. This is the absolute state of Marvel and Disney right now. They are really struggling, and with the Fantastic Four coming up, that's pretty much it for this year. That's their last major film, and for their sake, let's hope it's good, because they've already had massive failure after massive failure this year, at least financially. You can say you like some of these projects, but financially speaking, they're not doing well. And if you want these series to keep coming out, well,
Oh wait, the Zombie High School, there's a new season? Okay, so Disney has like this show it's been multiple seasons now. So it's basically like a world of zombies, right? Normal people and zombies. And apparently they figured out how to re-educate zombies to re-enter normal society, but they're still like it is the whole like thing like, oh, zombies are like this second class race and stuff like that. And now, even though they already established the lore that okay, besides humans and zombies, there's no one else, they decided to add werewolves now.
Of course.
And now the new enemy are the werewolves.
Classic trope.
There's like so much more stupider stuff. Like the main character has like really white hair, so she's special. And then like in the werewolf arc, it's like, oh, she thinks she is the queen of the werewolves because she's so different in her white hair. And like apparently in that world, if you have like bleach blonde hair, you're the freak. Also keep in mind she's the top cheerleader. I know way too much about it. Don't
Wait,
ask me how.
that's too real, Lifu. Too real.
Well, you better start hoping they do well because they can't keep doing this. This is not a good business strategy. This has to fail at some point for Disney and Marvel. And it just continues on with Ironheart. Doesn't look good right now. And the final 3 episodes will be coming out, I believe, on July 1st. So we'll see how that goes. We'll try it out. And if there's anything interesting that happens between now and then, we'll revisit the series.
I mean, I doubt that's anything's interesting happen. And to be frank, I'd rather rewatch MILF Manor than watch Ironheart. And I'm gonna end it on that note.
Yeah, yeah. Fly high. Check it. Spread my wings high, reach the sky. Feathers in the wind, never asking why. I'm a bird, motherfucker, I'm a bird. Soaring high, yeah, that's the word. Flying free like you never heard.